Hello and welcome to Home vs. House. I'm Lisa, and this is a channel where I share budget-friendly home decor and lifestyle ideas. Guys, today I thought I would come and bring to you what I've been up to in my living room as I transition from summer to fall. So this space is a space that I get the most sunlight out of this big window right here. And so when it starts to cool down some, I usually bring my indoor plants out or my indoor plants from outside. So again, spring and summer, I take it out, and fall and winter, they're in here. So these are some of them that I bought from outside recently. They were in different areas of my outdoors, some on my back porch, some on my front porch, and then some in my garden area in the back. So this is certainly I call it my sunroom, but it really is one of the only places in my home that get really good sunlight. So there you have it. So I have changed up this room quite a bit. I have included not just my indoor plants, but some artwork. My daughter is an artist, and so I took a few pieces from her, from her collection to display here. She had it up in her room, and she recently revamped her room and took those down, and they were sitting in a corner in her closet, and I thought I would snag it, with her permission of course, to put it up here. So I will just kind of take you around and show you what I have done to update this space. As always, I did it in a budget-friendly way. I used a lot of items that I had already in my home, and some that I have collected recently while thrifting. I've also DIY'd some as well, and so let's get started. So we'll start over here on this blue wall. So this is a project that I recently did where I did this wall in navy blue, and this is a project that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I wanted to be settled that that's a decision that I wanted to make. So I sat on it for a couple of years, guys, and then I finally did it this time around, and I have no regrets so far. So on here, this is a poem that I wrote a couple of years ago, and I just have it printed out here. And then up top, I have this spot painting that I did, and I just framed it in a thrifted golden frame. This piece, it's a one of 3 that I got off of Amazon. And then over here is another one of my splat paintings that I framed with some thrifted frames. So that's it for that wall. So next I'll take you around this side. So this beauty here is a piece that my daughter did. She does have an Etsy store, by the way, and I can leave her information in the link in case you want to go check her out. I believe she sold these. This is the original, but she sold a couple of prints on here, and literally it was just, I took a picture of her washing her hands. This is during COVID, and she, from the photograph, did this drawing, or this painting actually, and it's oil paint, I believe. It's either oil or acrylic, not sure. And then over here, I just have this armchair that I showed a video on this a few years ago. It was a thrift flipped where I reupholstered it with some fabric that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. This throw pillow is a DIY project that I also did a few years ago with some fabric from Hobby Lobby as well. Over here I have this desk. So this was a thrifted desk that I just kind of moved around from other areas of my home, and it's a sewing desk, so the top flips up and extends out, and so I have not used it as the original intent, but I have it here to just kind of create another like reading nook. Sometime I'm on a Zoom call and I don't want to sit on the couch or on the hard dining room table, or at the dining room table, and this is another little nook area that I thought would work really well. It's also a nice little reading nook here as well, and I just have a few thrifted pieces as well as my snake plant out here. So this coaster, you can sit a drink on here, hot or cold. And then this scale came from Amazon some years ago. And then I just have a couple of my chinoiserie pieces that I've collected recently, thrifted. I just have it sitting on the scale. And if you would notice as I continue this video, I didn't really do fall just yet, just because it's still a little warm outside. It does get colder in the evenings and throughout the nights. So guys, up here is this is just over my fireplace, and this is a project that my daughter and I did a few weeks ago. I've wanted to do this for just a little bit, and at first I was going to do wallpaper up here, and I researched it, and actually this design was inspired by a wallpaper that I saw on Amazon. It was a white background with these twigs. They were black, and I was gonna get it, but then I also saw this idea of painting the wall and actually doing like artwork, an artwork version as well. And so I went with that option. I already had the paint on hand, and I painted the background just a solid beige-ish color, and then I had my daughter go over once the paint was dried and just stenciled or trace some like twigs, and she did it free-handed. I would have had to hold up a photograph or something to try to do it, so it took her a few minutes to just trace it, and then I went over it with some green paint, and I really like the way it turned out. It really still gave me that that wallpaper vibes, but it was a simpler project, and it was so fun. It was a project that my daughter and I did together. And then this golden mirror up here is a mirror that I had before. It was another color. I think this is a third color I've painted it so far since I've had it, and I've had it for probably over 10 years. And I used some gold spray paint and painted it here because I'm adding some touches of gold in my home for this season. All right, so as we come onto the mantle, this is my running dew plant. I have two of them sitting up here, and I had them out this summer on my back patio or porch, and I brought it in here. And then these pieces is my chinoiserie pieces that I have been collecting thrifting. I've been really enjoying this for the summer. This beautiful piece of chinoiserie vase here is another thrifted item that I had on a previous video. So this is what I'm doing with it, and I just stuck some fall picks in it, and that's the idea that I had. And maybe over the holiday season or the winter season, I may do some winter picks in here. But I'm trying to decorate my home to where each season, although I like seasonal decor, I'm not having to do much. So that's why I'm kind of referencing the other seasons. As I'm decorating my space, I'm also thinking about the other seasons and what I can quickly change without doing a whole lot. All right, and then here I just have my peace lily plant sitting in front of my fireplace with a couple of ginger jars and this fireplace utensils and things like that. And I have not actually used my fireplace since I've been in this home, partly because I need to get some work done on my chimney, and I hope to do that here before it starts to get cold. So maybe this year I will actually use my chimney, but so far it's just been a place where I can house my indoor plants during the colder season, but hopefully that'll change here soon. All right, so if we go to this bookshelf, this was a thrifted bookshelf that I picked up as stores reopened due after the COVID shutdown, and I got this for 40 bucks, guys. This is something that I've seen and I've had my eyes on, and retail it was 400 and it was about 500, so it was like $4.99 was the cheapest I saw it for. And so when I saw it in my local Salvation Army store, it was missing a couple of screws, but that's okay because I just picked those up at the hardware store and the problem was solved. I have a few books sitting on there, as well as some plants, and these books are some of the collections that I've had, that I've read, and then there were some that I have recently picked up from various places that I am planning to read. Again, I'm a indoor person when it starts to get cold, and so I've started kind of collecting some books this summer that I want to go through for the winter. And how I buy my books, so I do live in a small town, and a few times for the year, mostly towards the summer time, that I actually utilize it. But I know that they hold this event other times in the year. My local library will have book sales on some books, and they're like a couple of cents a book, typically. So also throughout different neighborhoods in my small town, they will have little libraries. So like it almost looks like, I forgot what they're called, but it almost looks like a little birdhouse, where little houses on a pole, we call it the neighborhood library, I think. If you're done with your books, you can donate them in the thrift store in different places, but you can also pop them in those little libraries throughout the neighborhoods in my town, and other people can go and get it. So I've gotten some books like that as well, and I've also gotten some books at my local Salvation Army because they are like 5 cents a piece. So just a tip on, if you're a reader, just a budget-friendly way of getting books. And then on the books, I just have a couple pieces of pottery and things like that I've collected again recently. This piece was I'm gonna say a Chinoiserie inspired piece. It's a little teacup, and it definitely gave me the fall vibe, so I picked it up. So over the bookshelf, I have another set of poem that I wrote, and then I added some artwork here. The middle one is a splat painting that I did, and the two on the side are some Amazon buy. And guys, I did say 3 I had gotten the Amazon art. They were 3 in the pack. They were actually 4 in the pack for less than 30 bucks. So I stand corrected there. I have another one of my daughter's painting here. This is a photograph that she took. She got from the internet, and she painted this picture, and I think this is acrylic. Yes, this is acrylic, and it was just a beautiful piece. It's an eye and kind of like the perspective of what we see, the reflection of what we see, and I thought it was just a beautiful piece. And she was done displaying it in her room, and so I asked her if I can have it out here. And then I have this thrifted mirror sitting right next to it just to reflect some light in here. And then this another armchair in this corner with a light throw blanket. The armchair came from Ross many years ago. It was a set of 2 and the other one broke, so I threw it out and kept this one. And then here's just my plants that I had shared at the beginning of this video. These plants, they go out in the warmer weather and come back in to winterize. These navy blue curtains I picked up. I've had this for quite some time, and I think this was an Amazon buy. All right, I have another side table here, glass side table, and then I just have these metal leaf coasters, and that was thrifted some years ago, and I just have it sitting here and on top of some home magazines. This reading lamp came from Amazon the early part of this year or late part of last year, and then I have another coaster here to set some drinks on. And then these throw pillows were DIY, so I do DIY most of my throw pillows. I just oftentimes purchase the fillers and then use fabric, either from the fabric store. Lately I've been getting those scatter rugs because the fabric is really durable, and making throw pillow covers out of them, and so I've been really enjoying this. The back one came from 5 and Below, and it was a like a cotton rug that I cut in half and made 2 throw pillows. And then this one I did sometime last year, and I used a scatter rug from Dollar General, I believe, and then some brown corduroy fabric that I had in my collection, and I just flipped it on the other side and used it here. Up top, so this wooden shelf is a DIY project that I did before. I had the shelf in a different area of this space, and this summer I moved it over here, and I like it better over here. And I just have a hanging plant here, and this artwork. This was a thrifted piece that I picked up at my local Goodwill. I had my eyes on it for a while, and guys, yes, I did stash it in the back of some other frames until the color sale was at 50%, and I went back and it was still there, so I thought it was definitely meant to be. All right, and then this is the second piece of, or the third piece of the Amazon purchase of this art. And then my golden pheasant here is something that I bring out for the fall because it just reminds me of the fall. And then I have my announcer guy here that I've had for quite some time, and a golden candle stand. So guys, that is it for this corner. And then I have this plant. This is a spider plant. This was outdoor, and I bought it in here. All right, so up against this wall, this is a spot that I don't typically decorate, but this summer I was trying to do something with it. So I have this art piece here that I picked up thrifted, and then 2 hanging plants over on that side, and this is just over my stairs. And then lastly, on this side, I just have this metal clock here that I picked up thrifted some years ago, and I really like it because it has, like, it shows the temperature outside, it shows humidity as well too, so it's just a really practical piece. And then down here I have another thrifted side table that I just have a pothos plant and a coaster down on that end. It does have some shelving at the bottom that I have not utilized, and so guys, that is it for the living room. So if I was to I guess describe my my style in here, it would definitely be a mix. I try to incorporate some art in here. This is a home for my indoor plants, and some of my thrifted collections. So definitely a mix of, like, rustic, some boho, a couple items that are like traditional style as well too. So just the artsy kind of vibe here, and that's what I was going for. Oh, I did forget my coffee table. So here I have this vase with some fall florals. I have some books on both sides of them, and a metal kind of rustic style candle stand on the books. And so yeah, going back to my style, I think historically I have been just, I wouldn't call myself a minimalist, but I'm not a maximalist either. So I'm in between. I describe my style as a semi-minimalist, but this space here kind of borders maximalist for me. But I like it. I like it. I have been vibing it for a couple of weeks now to see if this is the display that I want, and I may switch it around a little bit, but for the most part I'm pretty content with this space and what I've done, and how versatile it is to incorporate some seasonal items, probably on the coffee table or the side table, and still keep a mixed style in here. So guys, I'm going to stop blabbing and end this video here. But before I end this video, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment and a like, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.